fascinating because it's convergence of economics and technology, right? And it's almost like sometimes I feel like there are these individual, really passionate entrepreneurs that they're kind of trying to build the underlying digital infrastructure to enable these use cases, right? This convergence versus and that's where I guess to some degree, and we come back to this, some of the traditional VCs are missing that point. There is still kind of focus on the app economy, while the reality is the system economy that they need to look at.
Well, there in the day, there were a lot of apps to create, and they did, and they've enjoyed amazing success. But now I think the physical and the digital world are combining, and that's where some of the biggest opportunities are. I remember going to a drone, they called it eVTOL conference, electric takeoff and landing for passenger drones. And I remember being there for 2 days. And at the end, the last session was the VC session. And after 2 days of watching the miracles that are starting to occur in that space, basically the VC said, no, too heavy in terms of fixed assets, not our cup of tea. And what I like about that is, okay, then it's not a crowded space. Then there's a lot of money to be made there if some of the innovators out there are right.
Wow. And we're seeing the indications of some of that, right? We're actually looking and we're seeing spots almost. But what you're saying is that instead of a fragmented experience, it's going to be a cohesive continuum experience, right? Yeah. That's where you can put a border between them.
Yes, absolutely. Right. And, you know, I know that you were at the digital art, it was an art gallery show of digital art involving artificial intelligence. And what I learned from the creators there, as we are moving towards really rewarding the creators for their creations, is that world is becoming very collaborative and generative. So I think those two words we're going to see and hear a lot more. It was fascinating. And one of my messages to the artists when I was asked was, you know, how do we help others? I said, well, just keep up that collaborative generative and it will pull more creators into your ecosystem. It'll be a win-win. So we're not siloed and working alone anymore. We're actually building on each other's strengths.
Absolutely, collaboration, because the key message that yes, in that virtual art gallery that Angela Dalton and yourself, Signum and Arc, you launched it, and I'm sitting watching that. It was an amazing job that Angela did and you guys did. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, okay, so especially I think it was one of the artists that thought it was August, I think that was his name. Mm-hmm. And he talked about how he creates the digital art, and it's a collaboration, layers behind it. And then he created digital artists, AI-driven digital artists.
Yes.
And these digital artists are now doing the work. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, under the digital artists or digital AI, under the digital art, there are these individual digital artists. Under that, there are creators of AI. Under that is this knowledge exchange that constantly collaborating. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you know, so the developers are artists as well, because they're creating and contributing to creating this notion of microservices, you know, this notion of collaboration between these things. So the economy is like, so now gonna evolve around every contributor. And at the same time as we contribute, we're producers as well.
Right. And so this is how
we consumers too, sorry.
Sure. Yeah. This is how we set up our research ecosystem. It is open. We are doing first principles research, original research around rights law and all of these new technologies, and we are giving it away. giving it away not when it's finished, as it's evolving. Why are we doing this? We want to engage with these communities, the communities who are actually making this happen, and we want pushback. We want them to battle test our assumptions. We want them to find us wrong before the stock market finds us wrong. We don't. We want them to help us with our research. So it's the same thing. It's collaborative and it's generative. They're building on top of our research. Some professors take our models into their PhD programs, their graduate programs. For example, our autonomous taxi network platforms and modeling. Clemson University has used it in its automotive engineering graduate programs. All we ask is that they tell us, share with us any insights they have, and actually help us improve it or correct any assumptions that may not any longer be correct.